In this week's Parsha, Yaakov, what does he do? The first thing he does is he sends angels, messengers out to who? To his brother Esav. You guys, let's say you have this enemy. Is it better to go send messengers, try to seek and talk to the enemy and or is it better just to sort of tiptoe around and avoid the enemy? Let's say I have some kind of fear going on. Should I be thinking about the fear? Should I be putting energy and attention towards the fear? Well, you know what our sages tell us? Yaakov, what are you doing? It's like you're walking by a pit bull. You're walking by this really mean watchdog and you're pulling on the ears of the dog, waking him up and he's going to bark at you and bite at him. What are you doing, Yaakov? And from here, we learn a very powerful lesson. Be careful with your thoughts. Be careful with your energy. The more you think negatively, the more you feel this fear that you're thinking about, and you think and you feel what you think, you're going to draw it upon yourself, because right after the Pasuk, the Torah tells us 400 men went out towards Yaakov. Meaning the thoughts that I have will draw and bring into reality. But wait a minute. Yaakov, we're talking about Yaakov. He was great. He was powerful. Why was he afraid? And there we're taught that Yaakov was human. Number one, that yes, our leaders are human beings. Even though they're like angels, they are still not angels. They are human beings, and we can learn from them that number one, it's very human to be afraid. It's human. It's natural. We have to be working on not having negative thoughts. We have to be working on not drawing that energy. But what do we do when we do have those thoughts? When we have those fears, what does the Torah tell us to do? What did Yaakov then do? He strengthened his emunah, his belief in HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Hashem. And he goes right on to say, wait a minute, Hashem, I know you are the Father, you're the God of my father and my grandfather. There's a history that I have with you. I have to think about all the times that you've helped them and that you'll help me also as well. That you made a promise to me, and I have to believe in that promise, and I have to believe in the promiser of the promise, because this is something that I can hold on to. I can strengthen my emunah. Number one, I have a fear. Okay, I might have drawn that upon myself. I'll accept that. It's here. Now what do I do with it? I strengthen my emunah. Step number one. Number two, let's skip ahead a little bit. What does Yaakov do? Practical things. He says, okay, what effort can I do to overcome this fear and confront the thing that's trying to harm me? Should I do some kind of military tactic? He did it. Did he give gifts? Yes, he did. Did he pray? Of course he did, because that's actually part of our effort in confronting the very thing that's coming to harm us or that we're so afraid about. We, of course, have to connect with it and pray about it. Then we fast forward and we see that the fear, the confrontation of the fear, took two different routes. One was a spiritual route, which all of a sudden Yaakov finds himself alone. And then comes the angel, the minister, the spiritual force that he has to battle. And there he did a battling. He fought with him, and the angel knocked him in the leg, and he would not let go of him. The angel says, what's your name? And he says, my name is Yaakov. He says, no, you're battling something. I want you to know that there is something above you, that there's something that knows that this is not just a battle in order to destroy you, but it's with a purpose and a meaning, and it will make you grow. You will no longer be Yaakov, you are now Yisrael, which means what? All the things that we go through, all the traumas, the challenges, the trials, the battles, the people that are trying to harm us, or the situation that's trying to harm us, it's not actually that person or situation, it's only to make us grow. This is the hardest thing I know to accept, but this is the battle that we're constantly facing. How can I see the bracha in it? Because Yaakov says to him, I will not let you go. The thing that's hurting me, harming me, until you bless me. And mind you, the thing that was hurting and harming didn't have a name. The Esha Kodesh says, because in every single generation, there's going to be a different battle that we're facing. But also, I want to tell you something. Hashem is the one behind the battle. It's not that thing in front of us. It's HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And he's not doing it to fight with us or to hurt us. He's doing it to give us a new name, to make us grow, to make us into bigger, better people. Now, mind you, after that spiritual battle, Yaakov was still scarred. He still had the limp. It's not that all the things that I go through my life, I should just erase them. I need to uproot them. I need to get rid of them. Or I need to label them. No. What you need to do is you need to keep walking. And you need to realize that, please, God, let me be able to have the clarity to, in the sun rising, when it's clear, that I'll be able to see what? That there was meaning and reason and purpose behind this battle that I went through. That it was, again, to make me grow. And then we have part two, where he actually faces the real fear. Which is who? He faces his brother Esav. And there, that's called the reality that we live in. And what does Yaakov do? He bows down to it 7 times. Which means what? It means I cannot always control the situation in front of me. I did all my effort to prevent it, to prevent any harm. I prayed for it. I did military tactics for it. I gave bribes for it. And now I'm facing it. I'm going to confront it. And guess what? I will bow down to it. I will bow down to the reality that Hashem has put me in. And this acceptance makes him so great, because only a great person can bow down to the reality they live in. Only a person who can incline to a Kadosh Baruch Hu and say, okay, Hashem, whatever is your will be your will. This is a great person. Yaakov bows down 7 times. He inclines to him, showing him that, you know what, the greater person is really the one who knows how to bow down to the situation that Hashem gives him. The one who grows is the one who can see the blessing in things. Not to say that you're not harmed by it and it doesn't hurt you, but that there was a reason and a mission and a purpose behind it. And to sum up all these things and make it a very interesting also element is we have a beautiful day of the week, which is Shabbat. You guys, Shabbat Kodesh is the day where we take a step back and we're supposed to understand what in the world did God create this world for? Like, why? What's the purpose, meaning behind the 6 days that I'm working? We enter into a realm of complete and total connection with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. And we have very interesting things that we're supposed to be refraining from in Shabbat. One of the malachah is what? We're not supposed to clean. We're not supposed to clean our clothes. So if I get a stain, bloop, the ketchup splashes all over me. Guess what? I cannot take some water and soap and just be washing it off. Why? Because in Shabbos Kodesh, we're supposed to understand that everything has a purpose and a reason, that there's a creator of this world. And therefore, that stain also, that thing that I went through in my life, it also has a purpose and meaning. And that's why one day of the week, you do not remove your stains. Because one day of the week, you have to realize you have to be with them, you have to live with them, and you have to understand that there's a reason behind my stain. There's a reason behind this thing that hurt me in life. It's not just to erase it and clean it off. It's to process it, it's to live with it, it's to be with it, and it's to grow from it. Shabbat Shalom.